Here's your news for April 20th, 2020. We're starting off today with some worrying news from WWE. As while the company has been deemed an essential service by Florida, not everyone in the company is pleased with the ruling. The decision that deemed WWE an essential service was made by the Orange County Board of County Commissioners, who heard from an anonymous WWE employee called John on April 21st, who painted a grim picture backstage. He said, "My employer, World Wrestling Entertainment, aka WWE, is forcing me to work at TV tapings for its weekly shows despite stay-at-home orders for coronavirus. I am unable to speak out as I need this job, and I know I will be fired if I approach my higher-ups. Despite sanitary precautions, we cannot maintain social distancing and have to touch other people. I request the government to shut down these tapings and enforce so my colleagues and I may follow social distancing rules without fear or repercussion of losing our jobs." Responding to these accusations, WWE released a public statement denying John's accusations, saying, "These accusations aren't true. Employees know they can confidentially go to human resources, not the public. Notwithstanding the appropriate protocol, no one would be fired if they were uncomfortable with their surroundings. We've made accommodations for individuals upon request." One of these individuals is Roman Reigns, who was allowed to miss WrestleMania with his immunocompromised condition, though Vince McMahon has reportedly sent orders around the company to not mention the big dog. It should also be noted that WrestleVotes have reported that WWE isn't forcing anyone to work at this time at any of their tapings. This is a very interesting situation, as WWE was approved by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and while the company is still able to run their weekly shows and pay-per-views, the public image of the company, especially after Black Wednesday, couldn't be much worse. We've got even more bad news for Vince McMahon now, as not only did the WWE release and furlough a ton of employees last week, but the XFL was closed down just 1 week prior. Now, the defunct league is back to haunt Vince, as The Atlantic reports that XFL Commissioner Oliver Luck is suing for wrongful termination. While we don't know the specifics of how much Luck is suing for, we do know that he was hired in 2018 and promised $20 to $25 million over the course of a number of years, though the league was cancelled after a few months due to the global situation. Luck is claiming that he was promised to be paid in full if he was terminated without cause, which he's also claiming, as things just seem to be going from bad to worse for Vince McMahon. From one controversial figure in wrestling to another now, as Nia Jax is continuing to push for a shot at Ronda Rousey following some scathing comments by the Hot Rod about wrestling and the fans earlier this month. This week, Jax found herself in the middle of her own controversy, where she was notably rough with Kairi Sane on Raw, with fans taking issue with the former Raw Women's Champion throwing Sane into the corner, causing the Pirate Princess to hit her head. Jax responded on Twitter by yet again calling out Rousey, saying that if Sane can't handle her in the ring, then Rousey should try instead. It should be noted that WWE has no plans to bring Rousey back anytime soon following her WrestleMania 35 loss, but when she does come back, it's clear that Nia Jax is waiting for her. From Raw to Smackdown now, as one man who is certainly doing well is Braun Strowman, who replaced Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 36 to capture the Universal Championship. Even with the vast majority of places being closed, the champion among men is keeping himself occupied outside the ring, as he showed off what he described as a redneck water park on Twitter. If this was an actual water park, we'd probably be asking for our money back, as all Strowman showed was himself falling in slow motion into an inflatable pool. With that said, it's good to see Strowman keeping himself busy outside of the ring, as he prepares for his upcoming Universal title match against The Fiend at Money in the Bank. Speaking of Money in the Bank, we've got some big news from next month's pay-per-view, as the first images have been revealed for the most unique ladder matches in WWE history. As we previously reported, both the men's and women's ladder matches will take place at WWE HQ in Stamford, as the participants will fight through the floors to the roof of Titan Towers, where the briefcases will be waiting. As you can see in these leaked photos, WWE had a ring and ladders set up on the roof of the building, though given the matches were filmed a week or two ago, we doubt this setup is still there. So far, the men's ladder match has seen Apollo Crews, Aleister Black, Rey Mysterio, and Daniel Bryan qualify, while Nia Jax, Asuka, Shayna Baszler, and Dana Brooke have all qualified for the women's ladder match. After the success of the Boneyard and Firefly Funhouse matches at WrestleMania, it's interesting to see WWE go for more cinematic matches given the lack of a crowd for the second pay-per-view in a row. From WWE to AEW now, and though Matt Hardy may be in isolation right now at the Hardy compound, that hasn't stopped the Broken One from being able to help others. When Dusty Kempf sat down to watch AEW Dynamite with her boyfriend Mike, she believed that this would just be one of many entertaining episodes of the show, but she wasn't aware that Mike had contacted Hardy ahead of time. Cutting a custom promo on the couple, Hardy even popped the question on Mike's behalf in his grand vocabulary, and Dusty was very happy to accept this truly epic proposal. Some fans may be aware that Hardy is also allowed to officiate weddings, as he officiated his first shortly before his WWE release this year. So if Dusty and Mike want to have a truly wonderful wedding, they know who to call. Back to WWE now, and it's been quite some time since fans saw 24/7 champion Rob Gronkowski, but now fans can see the WrestleMania 36 host back on the gridiron. Gronkowski, who retired from the NFL in 2019, captured 3 Super Bowl titles with the New England Patriots. Though as first reported by ESPN's NFL insider Adam Schefter, there have been talks between the Pats and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to trade Gronk to the Bucs. Shortly after this report, SportsCenter confirmed that Gronk has been traded to the Bucs, as he still has 1 year left on his NFL contract. The reported plan could see the retired tight end play for the Bucs alongside fellow Patriots alumni Tom Brady, and Schefter noted that the two teams were talking about Gronk's potential return ahead of this week's NFL Draft. Responding to this news, WWE replied with a tweet of their own, saying that the 24/7 champion is on the move, and later sent another statement on social media confirming that per the rules of the 24/7 title, he must still defend the title at all times. Prior to this trade, Gronk had 1 year and a $10 million contract with the Patriots, and it'll be interesting to see how he fares with the Buccaneers. This is a very strange situation indeed, as Gronk signed a WWE deal recently, and while it is believed that WWE had plans for Gronk to wrestle his first big match at SummerSlam, nothing is for certain in these unpredictable times. Though Gronk was a key part of WrestleMania 36, he wasn't the only highlight of the unique 2-day event, as there were plenty of matches praised by the fans. But while the Boneyard match and Firefly Funhouse matches were praised, one match that many fans didn't enjoy was the last man standing encounter between Edge and Randy Orton, and this opinion has also been shared backstage, according to Dave Meltzer. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer described the Rated R Superstars' first singles match in 9 years as one of the most boring matches in WrestleMania history, and added, "Before I said a word about it, I'd already gotten feedback on it from those internally who hated it more than I did, so even in the company at best it was split, and the consensus was it was far too long." At 36 minutes and 35 seconds, the match was by far the longest match at WrestleMania 36, as well as the second longest match in WrestleMania history, only behind Bret Hart vs. Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 12. Ultimately, it seems that this last man standing match was the victim of high expectations from fans, so hopefully things will be better the next time the Hall of Famer laces up his boots. We've got more news concerning WWE's recent releases now, as Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson have been dropping hints over their next destination in the world of wrestling. Though the current belief is that the pair will return to New Japan, Gallows dropped a big hint on Twitter that he will be returning to Impact, and posted a picture of himself during his time in the company as part of the Aces and Eights. After his 2010 WWE release, Gallows worked as Doc in Impact from 2011 to 2013, and while it's still likely that he and Anderson will be returning to New Japan when they're able to travel overseas, as Anderson's teased returning to the Bullet Club under his Machine Gun moniker, it's possible that the OC could find themselves in Impact Wrestling. Back to Raw now, and though WWE have teased splitting up Lana and Bobby Lashley following the Destroyers' WrestleMania loss, it looks like the company may have done a U-turn. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez pointed out that there was no friction between the on-screen couple on this week's Raw, and Wrestling Inc. also speculated that the WWE's creative team is dropping the angle. Back in February, it was reported that WWE were hoping for a Lashley-Lesnar match in the future, and time will tell whether that dream match occurs with or without Lana by Lashley's side. Now, earlier this week we reported on the sad death of longtime referee Jack Lotz, and now more has come out about his passing. On social media, Lotz's daughter confirmed that the Korean War veteran died due to complications regarding the current global situation, and we would once again like to send our condolences to his family. We've got some more sad news now, as former WWE ref Bully Caputo has died aged 72. Diagnosed with aggressive lymphoma of the bone marrow last year, Caputo spent his final year in hospice and worked for years as a WWE referee and a New York State athletic commissioner. Caputo started as a referee for Vince McMahon Sr. in 1975, and our deepest condolences go out to his family, friends, and anyone who remembers his contributions in the wrestling business. And we're ending today with news of SmackDown's mystery hacker, as they've posted a very interesting message on their Twitter account. While the video didn't give too many clues, it did sound like a third different voice from the two prior videos, and now the hacker's Twitter account has set its coordinates based in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. Though fans will recognize this location as the hometown of Cactus Jack, it's probably just a reference to the hacker's message of standing up against those in power. What's even more interesting is that the account was reportedly made back in October 2010 when the WWE was promoting their Stand Up for WWE campaign, at the same time that Linda McMahon was running for Senate. As the media coverage of Linda was overwhelmingly negative due to her connections with wrestling, WWE had the campaign to try and encourage WWE fans to support Linda, who would ultimately fail twice to gain a Connecticut Senate seat despite WWE's attempt to weaponize their fanbase in favor of her. The idea that the hacker or hackers has repurposed one of WWE's most infamous propaganda campaigns is certainly interesting, as the plot thickens on just who this hacker will be revealed to be.